evening, everyone. The Rialto Unified School District Board of Education is reconvening at 7:19. Thank you all for coming, and we will start our meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. And at this time, we are asking Dr. Morales to lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please note that all board members are present, including our student board member, Mr. St. Andrews. We will have a report out of closed session. Mr. Islam?
No decision was taken.
Okay. And to note that we did not complete all of our business in closed session, so we will be going back to closed session at the end of the open session tonight. Before we move on, we need to adopt our agenda, and there will be some changes. Could I get a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
It's been moved. Second?
Second.
It's been moved and second that we will adopt the agenda with a move in item B, presentations. We will move number 3, memorandum of understanding regarding agreement of guarantee admissions to California State University, San Bernardino, and that will be presented by Dr. Thomas Morales, President, and some of his staff will be here. So before we start, are all in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried, and then we will move into presentations. Dr. Morales is the president of Cal State University, and he has come to present to us a memorandum of understanding for guaranteed admission to Cal State University, as well as we're going to approve this memorandum of understanding. So we want you all to please listen to what Dr. Morales has to say and bring us this good news to Rialto Unified School District. So I give you Dr. Morales.
Thank you. Thank you for that gracious welcome and for today's signing of the MOU, which is so important for both Cal State San Bernardino and the Rialto Unified School District. First, I want to commend Rialto Unified School Board members. President Gilbert, thank you for your warm welcome. Acting Superintendent Muhammad Islam, and all of the people with the district for their hard work in advancing the success of your students, our students, who we hope will one day become CSUSB students. Today's agreement will provide students from Rialto District high schools with guaranteed admissions to Cal State San Bernardino if they meet specific criteria. It's a roadmap. Cal State San Bernardino is the only California State University campus that serves 2 distinct counties. There is no other CSU campus that serves 2 distinct counties, San Bernardino County and Riverside County. They happen to be the 2 largest counties in these United States. The mileage on my car will testify to that. We believe that this partnership will help build new opportunities for college education for high school students from Rialto Unified and further enhance the college-going and college graduating culture and the college-going and college graduating rates among the citizens in Rialto. This is going to be a clear roadmap for our students, starting really from cradle to career. It is so important that students are prepared for college when they graduate from high school. As you know, this process begins at an early age. Cal State San Bernardino is committed to working with our regional school districts, and certainly Rialto we consider to be one of our neighbors, historically a major feeder for this institution. And we want to make sure, we want to partner with the district to ensure that students are college ready when they arrive, so that there's less need for remediation when they begin their college years. It is also critical, and we've seen the data very clearly, that those students who arrive at Cal State San Bernardino ready to do college level work graduate at much higher rates than those students who don't. And so, for example, this summer, Cal State San Bernardino will be offering a free pre-freshman summer program, actually 3 different types of programs, depending on the degrees of underpreparedness, so that indeed those students who need remediation can come as pre-freshman summer students, and that program will be completely free to our freshmen. And so we're not leaving students behind who are not college ready. We want to try to reduce those numbers, but certainly we'll have available this summer 3 different programs for students. The longest program for the most underprepared student, which will be a 4-week summer program in intensive math and English, along with a student life component. So we're deeply committed to increasing the graduation rates of students, not just from Rialto, but from San Bernardino City Schools, Colton, and our historical feeders. As part of this, thank you. As part of this agreement, the district will provide incoming high school freshmen with a challenging academic program and the appropriate advising support to help them meet eligibility requirements. Thank you. I'm recovering from a very bad bronchitis. For the California State University system, so that they will not need remedial courses when they are in college. This not only makes getting to college smoother for students, but it's so beneficial once they arrive. Students will start taking courses within their major sooner, and this will help speed time to reach graduation. We want to reduce the number of years that students take to earn their baccalaureate degree. Let me reiterate that this MOU reflects CSUSB's commitment to students throughout the Inland Empire, and we are very committed to the community of Rialto. This agreement will be a tremendous advantage, potentially to every student within the Rialto Unified School District. We want to start at a very young age to begin to have students visit our campus and to really lay out a very detailed roadmap for our students. Both Acting Superintendent Islam and I sincerely hope that this agreement will help Rialto District students to start thinking about college sooner and to consider themselves to be in it for the long run, knowing that they ultimately achieve a bachelor's degree. Now, I will share with you that this is my 39th year in public higher education, and throughout my career I've worked with underprepared students. I was an underprepared student myself, and that the earlier that we can start raising that level of consciousness, educating parents, bringing us along as a partnership with the Rialto Unified School District, the greater success we will have in admitting students to CSUSB or to the college of their choice. let me be very clear. My goal would be that 100% of students from the Rialto School District find their way to a college. You know, some people will say to me, well, not everybody should go to college. And I say two things to them. One is that the same skill sets are needed, whether you're going to go to college, whether you go to Valley College or Cal State San Bernardino, or you go work for UPS. Same skills, same critical thinking skills, same quantitative skills, and I've spoken to the Senior Vice President for Human Resources at UPS. He says, we need the same skills. The second thing I say is that when people say to me that not everyone is college material, not everyone should go to college, I say, well, do what rich people do. They send their children to college. And I say that in jest, but I actually mean it. So I look forward, this is not about signing an MOU. This is about a partnership. Next fall, I hope to meet with the superintendents that have signed on to begin to identify tutors, to begin to identify ways to get our students prepared to do college-level work. So thank you very much. And with us today is Dr. Brian Haynes, who's the Vice President for Student Affairs, also has a very long history of working with students, underprepared students, and Olivia Rojas, who is our Associate Vice President for Enrollment Management. So this is a team effort, and I look forward to working certainly with Dr. Islam and the board as we continue to increase the number of students that go on to college. If they come to CSUSB, that would be a blessing for us in our university community. But the most important thing is that they go to college. Thank you very much. So I think we're going to try to logistically sign. We can
have them come one at a time because the cameras are.
You're in charge, okay? Okay.
I just want to get the visual on We can have, no, sir, if we can have you stand behind President Moore, that would be good.
Let me get this out of the way.
Thank you so much.
On that side also. I'll wait till you go.
Why don't we sign all of them? Have to come back up. Okay. Yeah. We want to leave you with one as well.
You see her? Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. President, I just want to show you. Thank you. For the hospitality.
And the next one would be Mr. Ayala, Vice President Ayala.
Yeah. Yep.
Smile when you sign. Board Clerk, Mr. Martinez.
So am I.
Mrs. O'Kelly.
Yeah, that would,
Afterwards?
that
Yes,
would be
please.
awesome.
You definitely.
Well, New York.
Okay.
Really glad we're on board with the other school districts. JP.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Now we're on board.
Oh, I dropped, this is mine. Thank you. Okay.
Sure. Sure,
Picture in the front
sure,
for
sure.
our keepsake,
Absolutely.
historical moment for us. While Mr. Islam is doing that, can I request the Board of Education to please come up and ask us? Thank you. Yes, please. Mrs. Morales, you can be in the middle. And maybe if we can have you on this. Thank you. Student board member, of course, Michael, please.
He's the most important person on the table.
He can't
Not
find,
us
but
adults.
he's right.
And you look great. I like that suit.
If I can have you a little bit closer. There you go. Sideways. Yeah, there you go.
Continue the training.
Give me a 1, 2, 3 big smile.
Size leaders and big dude.
And one more in case somebody blinked. Thank you.
Okay.
This is a great day for Rialto Unified School District. And to make this official, we must put this in motion, Dr. Morales, so we can have it officially in our minutes. So we're going to move item K 6.1 to right now, and we need a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding by the board tonight. Could I get a motion?
President Gilbert, I'll make that motion.
Mr. Martinez, we need a second.
Second.
Well, we have 2 seconds.
It's okay.
Mr. Montez and Ms. O'Kelly. All in favor? I don't think we need to, and our student board member, you can vote on this too. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
So we have a unanimous vote. Thank you again for this wonderful opportunity.
Thank you. We look forward to bringing our cabinets together, my leadership team, your leadership team, coming this fall to really execute the plan.
And I would just like to send a message out to our parents. You heard this. This is exciting for us. So please encourage your children to do well. And we have a school, a university, less than 20 miles from us that your kids can go to, guaranteed acceptance. But they have to do their part to get prepared. Again, thank you so much. Mhm. All right. And now we'll move back on the agenda, and we will continue with presentations from our DSAC students. Micah, would you take charge?
Okay. First up, we have Veronea Quintero from Rialto Middle School.
Good evening, Honorable Board of Education, Acting Superintendent Mr. Islam, and our viewing audience. My name is Veronea Quintero, and I am the proud ASB President at Rialto Middle School. I am really glad to be here as we just finished our Valentine's dance an hour ago. With over 200 students in attendance, we had a couple of guest dancers, the B-Boy Energetics, who have appeared in Christina Aguilera's, Jennifer Lopez music videos, Step Up the Movie, and much more to show us a few moves. Rialto Middle School has started off with the pep rally, congratulating over 360 honor roll students. Those same students will be enjoying a day at Scandia next Friday in the reward for their achievements. On that same Friday, we celebrated our proficient and advanced students with a special luncheon in their honor. Math Sports performed their BMX and scooter show on the 29th, and Miss MacGyver was fearless as she sat on top of an 8-foot ramp as they jumped over her with the BMX bike. Better her than me. Although I heard her eyes were closed. Still, one brave leader. I would like to give a special thank you to Ms. Joffrey and Ricardo Carlos for taking us on a little field trip to nutrition services, transportation, maintenance, and facilities. I learned much and had lots of fun. Also, thank you, Mr. Islam, for joining us and having lunch. Our Tiger Robotics Club is now training on underwater robotic rovers. They will compete in the inaugural tournament on March 29th at Rialto Middle School, and Rialto Middle School is about to get awarded next year's qualifying tournament for their first Lego League. Guess they better plan on some summer training sessions as well. Our Builders Club and BSU will be traveling to Warner Elementary to read and perform a play for Read Across America Day on March 3rd. The Cat in the Hat is even going to attend. Anyone want to be Thing 1 or Thing 2? Mika? On Monday, February 24th, is our annual Take Your Parents to School Day. We have invited my parents to attend classes with us. We have a special barbecue luncheon planned and hope to introduce them to our day. I hope to show my mom and dad how hard I work every day. Stop by and join us for burgers and salad that day. I will save you a seat at the cool table. A quick congratulations to our girls and boys basketball team for their outstanding season so far. Go Tigers! I look forward to seeing you guys next month, if my Vice President Andrea will let me speak again. Thank you and have a good evening.
Thank you.
Okay, next up we have Vice Sarah Ali from Casero Middle School.
Good evening, Honorable Board of Education, Acting Superintendent Mr. Islam, and the viewing audience. Last week, we just had our second quarter honorable assembly. Yay! We are also having the Valentine's Dance at Casero Middle School this Thursday, February 13. Casero Middle School is also selling carnations and Valentine grants for $1 to give to students on Valentine's Day. Math Family Night is March 12th and February 19th, 6 to 8 p.m. Are you celebrating Black History Month? Because we are. Casero is celebrating Black History Month by putting up posters and famous quotes all over the school. Students who follow the character trait responsibility for February will receive the monthly breakfast of champions. This is all for today. Thank you and good night.
Thank you.
Next up we have Juliet Rivera from Frisbee Middle School.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, members of the board, and parents and members of the community. My name is Juliet Rivera, and I am student body president at Frisbee Middle School, who will be representing tonight. This month, we would like to congratulate and honor our SRLA team as they are in their final days of preparing for the Los Angeles Marathon. Students have trained long hours before and after school, and even on some weekends. These students, this past week, they hosted their annual run-a-thon and they collected sponsors and donations as a way of paying for their transportation to the LA Marathon on March 9th. These students earned over $500 and our top runners ran 19 miles. We wish these runners good luck on March 9th as they take their greatest challenge of the season, running 26.2 miles through Los Angeles. Also, as part of our community service, we are in full swing of starting our fundraising efforts, participants in the annual Relay of Life. This year, we would like to dedicate our fundraising efforts to the current 8th grade Falcon, Sylvia Garcia, who is currently battling childhood cancer. We have a goal of raising over $1,000, and we are confident that we can do it. We hope our efforts assist in finding a cure. Thank you. That is all.
Thank you.
Next, we have Jessica Villapando from J. Hugh Middle School.
Good evening, Honorable Board of Education, Acting Superintendent Mr. Islam, and our viewing audience. My name is Jessica Villapando, J. Hugh ASB historian, and in the spirit of February and Valentine's Week, I love being here this evening. This past month has been a busy one for JHU. ASB held a crazy hair spirit day where students and staff came to school with some wicked hairstyles. It was a place to be. The only thing I had to do was roll out of bed and I was good to go. Of course, there were a couple awkward moments when I complimented some kids on their crazy do and they had no idea what I was talking about. We held our first semester honorable assembly and recognized our Jaguar scholars. Our Connect crew visited Garcia Elementary and worked with the 5th graders on how to form a positive connection in middle school so they would feel less anxious moving on to the 6th grade. And the Rialto High School counselors talked to us 8th graders today to go over registration and answer our questions about entering high school. And trust me, those 5th graders aren't the only ones feeling a little nervous about moving on to the next level. Sleepless nights, cracking knuckles, endless pacing, and that's just our parents. Earlier this evening, we had our ASB Valentine's Day dance, A Night in Paris. It was a, how do you say in French, parfait. That means perfect. Wow, who would have thought a dance could be educational? But look, I learned a new language. How exciting. Très bien. Oh my gosh, there I go again. Mom, Dad, I want to go to Paris. It's like it's calling me. Finally, we in DSAC would like to thank Nutritional Services and our bus driver, Mrs. Sabara, for taking us on a tour of the different district departments. We appreciate you. Finally, in conclusion, I hope that Cupid is kind to all of you this Valentine's Day and that the luck of the Irish is on its way. I look forward to seeing you next month. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you very much.
Last up, we have Anya Red from Kolb Middle School.
Good evening, honorable board members, Acting Superintendent Mr. Islam, and viewing audience. My name is Anaya Ed, and I'm the Communications Director at Kolb Middle School. I would like to thank Ms. Joffrey and Mr. Carlos for taking us to nutrition services for our field trip. Lunch was a real treat. We said aloha to our Hawaiian dance on January 30th. It was a great success, with a photo booth, video games, and beach balls. We celebrated the success of our future scientists at Family Science and Math Night, where families got to participate in fun activities like making flubber. If you haven't made some, you should try it. Your kids and grandkids will love it. The feel of goo on your fingers, it's icky. We are standing up against bullying at Kolb. Last month we saw a pledge, a CAMFL production about preventing bullying. Our 8th grade students are psyched for registration for high school. Eisenhower registration was in January, and Carter's is coming up quick. On February 19th, we will be hosting our Sweetheart Dance. Bring your fling and dance with us, because we know how to show you the boogie. At Kolb, our staff works hard to go above and beyond. And this month, Mrs. Poole will be taking a busload of students to the Norton Simon Museum in Los Angeles, thanks to the grant she received from Target. What are you doing February 28th? If you're free, join Kolb students at Trapp, Hugh Banks, Preston, and Myers as we celebrate Read Across America. Don't forget your goofy hat. The Cougars would like to invite you to participate in our Ducky fundraiser. Here's your first duck to get you started, but you gotta collect them all.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. There you go. Thank you.
Those are here today because my son's birthday. So thank you so much. You did very well. Very proud of you.
Are you done, Micah? Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Let's give our DSAG middle school students another hand. They perform so well when they have to come and give us news from their schools. I enjoy it. Now we will get ready for another special occasion for us, and that is to recognize our REA, CSEA, and RSMA employees of the quarter. And we will start with Board Member Ayala.
Tonight we are honoring Erling Hyman as Rialto Education Association's Employee of the Quarter. Please step forward. Congratulations. Mrs. Hyman is a special education strategist at Eisenhower High School, raised in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Mrs. Hyman graduated from, can you help me here? Aliquippa High School back east. Moving to Southern California, she earned her associate's degree from Mount Sac College, then her bachelor's degree from Cal Poly Pomona in business administration. Ms. Hyman also completed her master's degree in education, specializing in special education from Confirmation of Cal State San Bernardino. Coming from a non-public school system, Ms. Hyman was first hired at Eisenhower High School as an RSP teacher in 2007. I love working with our students and observing them as they grow and reach their potential. It is a rewarding experience for me, she replied. You want to read this part?
One of the most important aspects of success, according to myself, is building relationships. She smiled. That is truly what life is about. Building relationship, and that's what I try to also teach our students.
Well said. Mrs. Hyman should know a thing or two about building relationships. She has been married for 42 years to her husband. Your husband let's bring him up. Let's bring him up. Please, sir, come and join us.
saint.
42 years. Congratulations. You got your boy with her, the family. Oh, terrific. Oh, terrific. Let's make some room here. 42 years to her husband, Eddie. And before we go any farther, maybe we can do some introductions here.
Oh, this is my 10-year-old Jeremiah.
Jeremiah.
This is my husband, Eddie. This is my son, Shane. And this is his wife, Bernicia.
All
Let's
right.
give them all a round of applause. The couple resides in Rancho Cucamonga. They also have 5 children ranging from 29 to 10 years old. Mrs. Lisa Lindbergh, president for REA, said selecting Ms. Hyman for Employee of the Quarter was not a difficult choice. I choose Ms. Erlene Hyman because she has demonstrated commitment to her students and staff, replied Ms. Lindbergh. She has been an elected site representative for a number of years and also sits on the Superintendent's Advisory Committee for REA. She has provided valuable insight at the advisory meetings and is always ready to assist colleagues, students, and administrators in a cooperative and productive way. One of Ms. Hyman's hobbies is traveling. She has visited all countries in Asia, also visiting Russia, Germany, Sweden, Turkey, and Greece. I only have 2 continents to go on my bucket list, and I will be traveling to Africa next year. She replied, South America and Greenland I would also like to visit. Wow, that's something else. Thank you for visiting our boardroom, and on behalf of the Board of Education, we proudly honor you, Ms. Hyman, as REA's Employee of the Quarter, and we'll take a picture here. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Saida.
Thank you.
Would you like to say anything before we conclude? Okay.
To be nominated is an honor, but to be selected is truly humbling. I'd like to thank Madam President, all the board members, Acting Superintendent, and REA. What are you doing? Oh. And the REA President, Lisa. And Jeremiah asked me, Mom, please don't forget me when you say your speech. So I thank Jeremiah also.
Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Jeremiah, you can have the notes.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Proud moment.
Who chose that?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ayala, for that presentation. And now Mr. Martinez will do the honors to present the CSEA. Is that right? Educator of the Quarter, Employee of the Quarter.
Thank you, President Gilbert. I'm going to ask Clay Dickinson to join me tonight. Going to ask that you hold this. And normally we give this a little later, but it gives better opportunity for pictures. Yes. Okay. And Clay understands all of that. Tonight we will honor Clay Dickinson as CSEA Employee of the Quarter. Mr. Dickinson is an electronics technician 2B in the district's Maintenance and Operation Division. He was selected as Employee of the Quarter due to his commitment in assisting in various district-wide events and always ready to assist when asked. Mr. Dickinson was born in Fort Edwards, New York, but then the family moved to Florida about a decade later. Mr. Dickinson graduated in 1974 from Winter Haven High School in Florida. He joined the Air Force at age 18 as an electronic technician radio specialist stationed at Norton Air Force Base. Some of those as gray as I am will remember that. Mr. Dickinson was hired by the Rialto Unified School District's M&O department 19 years ago. He said he was shocked at hearing the news that he was selected for the honor. Would you like to read that?
Oh, God.
I wanted, especially that part.
Because I was surprised, floored, I mean, woo-woo, cheered.
Thank you for not embarrassing me. Yeah. Woo-woo. Okay, the board member did it. The 50-year-old M&O employee, 58-year M&O employee. I really do feel thankful for this, and it really did blow me away. Mr. Dickinson, who has been married to wife Sharon for 33 years. Sharon, I'd ask you to come up here, but only if you're doing well today. Okay, just if you could just raise your hand. Okay. They've been married for 33 years. Said the best part of his job is supporting the students. It's why we are all here, he replied. It's great to closely work with teachers and administrators for the kids. I also thoroughly enjoy working with drama and choir groups, providing audio support. Mr. Dickinson, who has overseen the audio-video portion of the district's putting on the Ritz for 9 years, laughed. I love helping with the Ritz. I'm actually affectionately known as the Ritzmeister. Yeah. Most people don't see him out back, though. Yes, personally very grateful to you, my friend. M&O Director Bill Ralph, who is Mr. Dickinson's supervisor, said, Clay delivers excellent maintenance support to all our school sites on a wide variety of electronically related issues, and is also instrumental in providing needed technical advice and expertise with special events throughout the district, such as putting on the Ritz. I am proud of Clay's accomplishments. Cheryl Decker, CSEA Rialto Chapter President, added, Clay is a dedicated employee. His willingness to assist where needed is never ending. His talents are many and his kindnesses run deep. He recently donated many hours on a weekend to assist with the CSEA State Executive Board meeting held at Rialto High School. We wouldn't have been able to have the meeting without his presence. Congratulations, Mr. Dickinson, for being selected CSEA's Employee of the Quarter. A few words?
I said, I'm much more comfortable behind a soundboard than in front of a microphone. It's very dangerous to turn me loose. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And once again, woo-woo.
Oh, that's great. Sir, you're a breath of fresh air. That's great.
Congratulations, Clay.
Nice job, Mr. Martinez.
And next we will have the RSMA Employee of the Quarter, and that honor goes to Mrs. O'Kelly.
Well, I'm really delighted to be presenting this honor tonight because I know this young man quite well, and he definitely deserves this. So, Mr. Scott Sparks, come on down. Tonight, we honor Eisenhower High School Principal, Mr. Scott Sparks, as the Rialto School Manager Association's Employee of the Quarter. Mr. Sparks is a homegrown success story for Rialto Unified. He was born in Rialto, attended all Rialto schools, and still resides in the city of Rialto. Mr. Sparks attended Kelly Elementary School and Frisbee Middle School. He graduated from Eisenhower High School in 1990. A standout baseball player, he later went on to coach boys baseball at Ike while attending Cal State San Bernardino. After earning his bachelor's degree in physical education, Mr. Sparks began substituting in the district in 1994. In 1998, he was hired as a teacher at Morgan Elementary School. He went on to earn 2 master's degrees from Azusa Pacific, one in physical education and the other in administration. In 2002, Mr. Sparks transferred to Eisenhower High School to teach PE. And I have to say, I went to Eisenhower in 2005 as an assistant principal at that time, and we had this reading program many of you are familiar with called AR, Accelerated Reading, and there were some things we were trying to figure out how we could do better at the high school. And so being new to, I wasn't new to Eisenhower, but new to a lot of the staff that had changed, I kept asking people about AR, and they said, oh, you have to talk to Mr. Sparks. You need to talk to Scott Sparks. And I kept hearing this. So finally, we had a staff meeting, and I actually met Mr. Sparks, and I said, you are the god of AR. And he blushed and said, no, I'm not, but he was. Anyway, eventually, Scott went on to be promoted to assistant principal, so we worked together as assistant principals at Eisenhower. And in 2013, he was promoted to principal of Eisenhower High School. It's a rewarding feeling when you have the opportunity to work with professionals for the betterment of our students, replied Mr. Sparks. It was a great feeling to come back to my alma mater where I shared so many positive experiences. It's great to have the opportunity to transfer the positive experiences to a new generation of students. I also have to commend my staff and administrative team for their unyielding support. I think this is the most wonderful thing about Mr. Sparks being the principal of Eisenhower. He's a Rialto lifer. I'm a Rialto career lifer, and there is something very special about this district that we all love so very much, and when they carry that love into the job, it shows and it benefits our students. Mr. Sparks is married to his lovely wife, Tracy. Come on down. The couple met as students in the district. They have 5 children, 2 who have graduated from Ike, Aston and Nicole, and 3 who attend our USD schools, Mackenzie, Victoria, and Alexis. On his spare time, Mr. Sparks joked, I mow the lawn. Spare time is a rarity. We have a lot going on that keeps us busy, but we do try to do things as a family. RSMA President Daniel Husbands added, Scott Sparks has been an integral part of the Rialto School Managers Association this year as the VP of Legislative Action. In his role, he has provided ideas to help promote RSMA and has been a champion of public education. Scott has been in attendance, positively representing our district at all AXA Region 12 meetings. As an Eisenhower High School graduate himself, he demonstrates every day that the students can and do succeed. Scott is a down-to-earth type of guy who has consistently placed the needs of the students of Rialto Unified first. Mr. Sparks was nominated by Ike Assistant Principal Mr. Jerry Sturmer. It's an extremely humbling experience, Mr. Sparks replied. I'm very thankful for this honor. Congratulations, Mr. Sparks, on being RSMA Employee of the Quarter. We need to have a Kodak meeting, I guess. Okay. Congratulations. Yes.
That's okay. I'd like to thank President Joanne Gilbert. It's been a long day.
It has, it has.
Yeah, we started at Aquinas Student of the Month this morning with breakfast, and now we're here. Thank you, Mr. Joseph Ayala, Vice President, Mr. Joseph Martinez, Clerk, Mr. Montez, and Mrs. O'Kelly, of course, thank you. And Micah, thank you. That's my student.
Micah is one of Scott's.
That's one of my students. I also like to thank my boss, Dr. Levine. Thank you for all your support. Dan Husbands, President of RSMA. And of course, my staff, Jerry Sturmer, Cindy Aguilar, Frank Jimenez, and Linnell Hardy. Without them, to be honest with you, there's no way that we could even get close to what we do at Eisenhower. And of course, I could have never done this with you by my side, my wife by my side for 20-something years. I could have never gotten it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now we will move on to item 4 under presentations, and that would be Measure Y, 2010 General Obligation Bonds Audit Report for the year in June 30, 2013.
Good evening, Mr. Islam, Interim Superintendent, and members of the board and viewing audience. My name is Paula Bailey. I'm one of the Measure Y Oversight Committee members, and I'm here to inform you that you do have a copy already of the report that Mrs. Gilbert had mentioned. That was done by VT&D Corporation, Mr. Royce Townsend, who's also here from the organization. And that's all for me, I believe. Any questions can be referred to him, or where's my other person? Okay.
Just
Sharon.
to make it clear, on our bond, we're required by law under Proposition 39 that the oversight committee to see through everything we are spending, every dollar taxpayers' money for the purpose of a bond was passed. So this is required by law that the board has to receive a report from the oversight committee to the governing board, and it's a financial report and a performance report. There's 2 reports which you have a copy of that. It's required annually at the end of the year. At the end of the fiscal year, we have to present this report to you as a governing board by the oversight committee. That's required by law. So what you have tonight is simply accepting the report. And we have a partner of the audit firm is here in case you have anything you'd like to ask on the report. You're welcome to do that.
Well, this is just a related topic. When are we selling the next one?
I'm working on it. I'm glad you asked me, Ms. O'Kelly, because of the financial market it is we have to wait until right time. So we have to issue the next series of the bond to move forward with our list of the project we have. We committed to our community. So I'm going to bring a report to you soon.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions from members of the board?
Just a comment. Reading in the summary, it was good to read that the financial numbers were all in order, and
Right.
that's always good to read.
Correct. The financial statements we are saying are materially correct. We believe them to be materially correct within reasonable doubt. So that's the good news. That's the unmodified opinion. Also, as related to the performance audit, we found no expenditures of the almost $10 million of expenditures that you had. We tested over 66% of them, and in no cases did we find any that did not align itself with Measure Y.
Excellent.
Excellent, excellent. Any other comments? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Paula.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now we'll move to public comments. Mr. Islam, do you have any cards? Okay. Just a few? Okay. We will start with comments from the floor from anyone wishing to speak on an item that is not on the agenda. You will be allowed 3 minutes. The clock is there waiting so you can see your time. Please adhere to the 3-minute time limit. If you're speaking on more than one person speaking on the same subject, you're allowed 20 minutes for that one topic. Mr. Islam.
Ron Fletcher, item not on the agenda.
Good evening, board and members of the audience. I'm Ron Fletcher. I'm the Vice President of CWA, and I'm happy to be here tonight to present to you our request for a reopener, and I'll give this envelope to security so he can give it to you so that we've met our requirements of having it presented to the first board meeting. And the other thing that I'd like to say as far as substitutes go is I would like to request that Rialto forms a thing. You had a couple of people being honored from the other unions. If you had a report to where the union representatives could come up for 3 minutes if they chose and just talk about what's going on with the union in Rialto. That way you guys be kept informed and it wouldn't have to take going through other means, having to get here by 6:45 to put in a thing to speak, because sometimes we get busy doing other things. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Fletcher, for your suggestion. Okay, thank you.
Next, Rafael Chavaria.
Can I have a translator so they can translate from English to Spanish?
Yes, we have.
Oh, we don't have a translator?
Yes, she's coming.
My name is Rafael Chavarria.
Speaking to the
I
mic,
have been a
please.
resident. Oh. My name is Rafael Chavarria. I have been a resident of Rialto for 23 years. I'm a former employee of the school district, and I'm retired from state service. Good evening, board members and acting superintendent, Mr. Islam. I am here tonight to address the board about the many matters that have occurred under the lack of leadership from the superintendent. However, it is not to say that the board cannot take leadership to direct the district into a better future for both students and employees. It is past time for you to take responsibility as board members to improve the morale and guidance of the district. The board needs to make a decision to let the two administrators go and take the right course of action to move this district forward. The education of the 21st century is not going to wait for the students to learn. It is up to you to give the direction. As board members and leaders of the district, so that all students and employees can look forward to a future we can all be proud of. We are looking to you and counting on you to be the leaders you were elected to be. Thank you very much.
Sí, voy a decir lo que dijo anteriormente. También trabajó para el distrito. Sí. Buenas noches, mi nombre es Rafael Chavarria. He sido miembro de la comunidad por 23 años y también fui empleado por el distrito de Rialto. Buenas noches, miembros de la mesa directiva, superintendente interino, señor Islam. Estoy aquí esta noche para abordar o para dirigirme a la mesa directiva con respecto a muchos asuntos que han ocurrido bajo el liderazgo del superintendente. Sin embargo, no es decir que la mesa directiva no pueda tomar un liderazgo para dirigir al distrito a un futuro mejor para ambos los empleados y los alumnos. Ya hace tiempo que ya pasó el tiempo que ustedes tienen que tomar responsabilidad como miembros de la mesa directiva para mejorar el moral y el guía del distrito. La mesa directiva necesita hacer decisiones para desemplear a los dos administradores y tomen el curso correcto y para mover el distrito hacia adelante. la educación del 21st century, no estoy seguro, del siglo XXI, gracias, no va a esperar para los alumnos, para que aprendan. Es obligación de ustedes dar la dirección como miembros de la mesa directiva y como líderes del distrito, para que todos los alumnos y los empleados puedan mirar hacia adelante a un futuro en que todos podamos tener orgullo. Estamos contando en ustedes para que ustedes sean los líderes que fueron elegidos a ser. Gracias.
Thank you.
Next, Barbara Orgen.
Good evening, Board of Education. My name is Barbara Horzen, and I'm a parent of students here in the district. I want to talk about the FICMAT audit, and first I want to talk about the special education FICMAT audit. 3 of 5 of my children that are school age have IEPs with Rialto Unified, and I've read the special education FICMAT audit, and I agree we need to improve. But as a parent, I want to personally add that I have had excellent experience with this district from the special education department for my children. It truly takes a village, especially Mark Blind, Veronica Smith-Lazard, David Farrow, Allison Hannah, and the outstanding principal, Mr. O, at Frisbee Middle School. Mr. O has been amazing. Along with the 6th grade counselor, Mr. Florence, RSB teacher, Mr. Cadjo. The school has a 6th grade MR program that my son Christopher is in. This is taught by Tanya McCall, the most amazing special education teacher I have ever met. My son made the principal's honor roll this year, and he made the principal's honor roll because they looked at his ability and achievement, not by standards. And what this did for my son cannot ever be measured. It was priceless. To see an autistic child get on stage and get recognized is more than a parent can even imagine. So this district needs to recognize what we do for children. Most districts do not do that. The other district FICMAT audit, I'm not surprised. Before Mrs. O'Kelly was elected, I gave one of you board members documents that an employee left on my doorstep because they were afraid of retaliation. It detailed some questionable practices of contracts of the district, and nothing was done. The next year I gave, after an election, another school board member the same documents, and eventually a request for an audit was asked. Then it got approved. I then went to another board member and told you the story and of the questionable concerns that I had of contracts that were being approved, and you listened. This was done before any of the reports were back from the auditors. You knew for several years prior to our district that we had issues, and you didn't act on them. The information I gave you is now listed in the FICMAT audit, and it is true and documented as the same issues that I presented to you in previous years. Now, as school board members, we need a new direction for our school district. I've been a proud parent for 35 years, and we need to look at a fresh direction for our district. We will only go backwards with more issues and more concerns. We have able, qualified employees who can take this lead and turn this district back to one we can be proud of once again. I'm proud you call ours. We have amazing students and additional amazing staff, and you need to look closely at your actions. You were elected to represent the children of this district, and you need to do the right thing and make the changes and give this district an opportunity to shine once again. Thank you.
Next, Mr. Finn.
Good evening, board members and Acting Superintendent, Mr. Islam. The community feels it's necessary to remind you that the board's bylaws state that the board is expected to govern responsibly with its priority on the community. Well, members of the community have been vocal, letting you know that we do not approve of the Superintendent Harold Seabram's gross mismanagement of district fiscal funds, as was reported and verified in the January 10th FICMAT report, and the Rialto educational crisis reported in the January 22nd report. The FICMAT audit reported that there was inappropriate and inefficient use of district funds, due duplicated contracts for multiple rates for the same services approved directly by the superintendent or superintendent's office without board approval. Harold Seabrum has factually broken the law and has lost complete trust of the community. It is the governing board's job to enforce the rules of the law. The community employees have witnessed that this Board of Education, more specifically Joanne Gilbert, Joe Ayala, and Joe Martinez, have proven not to be capable or responsible in the governing duties to the district, and especially when it pertains specifically to Harold Seabrum. More than anything, you three have been an embarrassment as the leadership of this district and have proven not to be looking out for the best interests of the community and the good employees. The community is moving towards a recall. You were voted in by the community, and you can be voted out by the community. You are being watched, and rightfully so. The more you keep ignoring the cries of the community, the more an investigation is warranted into looking into your suspicious involvement as to why you have supported the damages of the shameless superintendent. It is absurd that the superintendent has spent on 4 months paid administrative leave collecting even more valuable district money when his character and conduct fits over half of the causes warranted for permanent employee dismissal, included but not limited to dishonesty, unprofessional conduct, unsatisfactory performance, and a violation of board policies. Again, all to which you three specific board members are guilty of openly supporting and having been stagnant, doing nothing to protect the valuable district funds and your community's support. You, the trusted board members, are responsible for creating and enforcing a safe and healthy environment for the good people of Rialto. It is the governing board's job to enforce the rules of the law. You are responsible for Seabrum's inappropriate and illegal conduct, and the community suspiciously and rightfully would like to know why it's taken months to take any action. Harold Seabrum has been a shameful leader and has caused a great mess for the Rialto Unified School District, and the good people that live and work for the Rialto want Seabrum gone. Thank you.
Next item on the agenda, Ron Fletcher.
Once again, good evening, board. I'm here as a parent. I have 8 children, as some of you know. I have 4 boys, 4 girls. Unfortunately, none of my children had the opportunity to go to school in Rialto. They all went to school in San Bernardino. They all went on year-round school. I see that you have put something on the agenda about redoing your year-round school requirements, and I'm all for that. I think year-round school is one of the best things that can happen to students. Like my own children, when they got off, they went back to school and helped other people. There was always things to do. We could take vacations that were not done at the prime time of the year. The other thing is because the kids were off for a shorter period of time, they didn't forget so much, so there wasn't a whole lot of reteaching going on. As a substitute, I am naturally in favor of year-round school because that gives me a chance to work during the summer. Otherwise, I got 2 months of vacation. A little bit aside from that, I would just like to say that I know that people have the right to express themselves. I don't necessarily agree with everything. I think that when Dr. Seabrum came, he was able to pull this school district together because it had really had problems before. And I, for one, appreciated getting to know him. I appreciate the fact that the school board is continuing on in what I think is a very difficult time. And I'm sure that many of you spend a lot of time thinking about what's going on and trying your best. And that is all we as a public can ask you to do. Thank you.
That's all.
That concludes our public hearing. public comments. We'll move to public hearing. There is none. Item D, public information. The Williams Settlement Legislation Quarterly Uniform Complaint Summary, October through December 2013, is in your agenda, reference D 1.1. Consent calendar items. All items on the consent calendar will be acted upon in one motion unless pulled by Board of Education members or the acting superintendent for individual action. Could I get a motion to approve consent items E through J?
So moved. I'll second that motion.
It's been moved and second. Before we vote, are there any items to be pulled? Ms. O'Kelly?
Yes, H2.
H2?
And I had a couple of questions. The first contract I had a question on was train. And I wanted somebody to please explain what train will actually be doing. It sounds like the $34,000 is for a plan, not for the actual implementation of the energy efficiency program they want to get going. So could somebody explain what train will be doing?
Yes, Ms. O'Connor, I have a director of our facility. She will be speaking on this matter.
Good evening. This is Iris Chu, Facility Planning Director. Madam President, the respectful board members. The reason we take this to the board and the reason we need to engage a consultant service to produce a study to examine our energy efficiency and the measures to improve our energy efficiency performance in the schools is because it's required by the Prop 39 fund application that we have to prove with data, the actual data that shows our existing energy expenditure and utilization, and the measure we're going to provide and the result, efficiency and the savings. We need to show to the state that all the investment we use from the fund provided by the state can achieve higher than 1. That means have more energy savings than our investment can show in a payback period. So this is a special requirement. It's not necessary in the past from the other state-funded project like modernization or new construction, because this energy efficiency measures we are going to implement in the schools, we have to demonstrate the efficiency with actual calculation and the actual data. That's why we need to prepare these plans.
Okay, so this expenditure is for them to come and analyze how efficient we already are,
How
and then develop a
inefficient we are, yeah, and the plan to
develop a
improve
plan
it.
to improve it.
And show with the serial, the mathematics, the serial mathematics, to demonstrate we have to achieve more than 1.05 of performance.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And I just had a quick question on this perfect forms. What was my question? Please clarify the purpose of this and how. I don't understand. It's a online form routing system. So what does that mean?
Our technology officer, she's going to explain this. Beth Ann is here.
Good evening, Board of Education, Acting Superintendent Muhammad Islam and viewing audience. My name is Beth Ann Scantleberry, Chief Technology Officer here at the district. And the Perfect Forms is a online, a development tool that we can use to make documents routable. So right now we have documents that we send, like personnel requisitioning system, that routes around electronically, get approval, and go throughout the district. We have other forms within the district that are manually routed around. And this is a development software that we'll use to create the forms and then be able to route them, create workflows, and then route them around for approval. So it'll save some time and manpower of getting forms routed around.
That's what I thought, but I just wanted to be clear. Thank you.
And just to further clarify this is to improve our business and operating system, that we doing a lot of manual process in this district. So we're in a technology stage. So we're moving into a technology.
It's all great until the computers go down.
Thank you.
Ms. Gilbert, I do have a follow-up.
Okay, Mr. Martinez.
Okay, with that software, I understand, and it sounds wonderful, but will we still be required to route for signatures?
No, they have actually the ability that we can put electronic signatures in there.
Okay, those will be acceptable?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Beth Ann. Okay. Right. Now, are there any other questions? Can we get a motion? We did the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm sorry. Student preferential vote.
Aye.
Okay, board members.
Aye.
Okay, motion is carried. That's unanimous vote by all but for board members. Now we move to, where are we? J.
Discussion.
We'll move to discussion action items. Action items will be enacted in one motion unless members of the Board of Education request specific items to be discussed. Now, we have already approved item number 6. So we are voting on 1 through 5. May I get a motion to approve items K1 through 7, omitting, I'm sorry, I just said 6, but it's 1 through 7, omitting number 5.
So moved.
Number 6, omitting 6.
And on number 7, we had a pull from that list of
Yes, we had a
expulsions.
pull. I was looking at that. I don't see that student number listed.
I believe we
Did
took
that
action
enclose
according,
that-
no, we took action according to case number as opposed to student number.
But that's
Madam
not the same
President,
case
I
number.
have corrected that and passed that on.
Oh, you did. The case number's not here.
I can read the case number,
Yes.
Ms. Gilbert. The case number 13-14-37.
Right, okay. And we're pulling that number. It's not listed, but we're pulling it anyway.
That's
correct.
All right. Now,
And you have a
Mr.
motion?
Yes,
So moved.
it's been moved. Second by Ms. O'Kelly that we will accept discussion action items.
And I have a question on
You
that.
have a question?
On 2?
On number 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to sound ignorant, but what is the CAL card? And who gets to use it, and what is it used for?
The CAL card is a credit card. We have authorized by the governing board, total authorized, I believe is 6 card. One of the card being left to the superintendent office like a blank card, not being just to use district-wide as needed, not assigned. It was simply left as I call open check, so anybody can use it. So my recommendation to you as a board, no, we should not have a blank credit card.
No.
Anybody should not have one. So that card, I'm using the FICMA recommendations, transferring the card to the purchasing department under the direct assignment to the purchasing manager, who will use this card as needed for district-wide to the certain event, such as if the vendor don't accept our PO process. So, and he will be authorized to use that card. So it should be under his assigned to him.
Who approves the expenditures?
The expenditures will be again, the card he's using for need for the districts. If I request to purchase some item, let's say the vendor doesn't accept the PO and the process of our payment, then he will use that card for that purposes. And as we receive the monthly statement, the statement will be reviewed by the fiscal services, our director of fiscal, who is will be the approver of all the event before it get processed for payment.
So, Mr. Islam, just for clarification, so what you're saying is a card that was previously not assigned to any one particular person is now going to be assigned to the purchasing manager?
Well, let me go back a little further. When as I arrived at district, every card was assigned to, including one was offered to me, blank card. I refused to take the blank card. I said, no, nobody should have a blank card. With the working to Superintendent Dr. Silverman, I changed all cards. Those are authorized by the governing board to their name. Example, Felix. Example, Dr. Levine. They're authorized. So I changed the card to their name. Again, this was a practice we had in the districts prior to my arrival. So only card that was left blank with Dr. Silverman in his office assigned to Nancy Mann, which is secretary, to use that card under his directions. And I could not change that card to her name because she doesn't need a card. So under his direction, I left the card alone. Now I'm bringing a recommendation to you, we should not have any blank card.
But the card was assigned to a department. The
superintendent office.
Okay.
It was a blank card, so anybody, if I need, I can be given that card to use it for district businesses. So I don't believe that's a good business practice.
No, I think that's a little bit crazy.
Yes, it is. I will not give my own daughter a blank card.
Right.
So I'm telling you, I will give it to her to authorize user under her name, and she will be responsible, and I will be monitoring. So
Are there limits on these cards?
Yeah, there's a limit. And again, the process we are putting in place right now, an approval of every transactions. So let's use example, my card, wherever I use for district business, somebody going to review those charges and approve it on my behalf before it goes to the process.
Okay, because my concern is this. Just hypothetically, we've seen charges on certain credit cards that were totally inappropriate, and gifts of public funds, including almost $1,000 worth of tennis shoes and other items. So how did that get past fiscal? Because we heard about that one from the county.
Right. The process was, the approval process was not there because of the, again, superintendent, his authority, he has a
Okay,
card.
so you're saying these are the processes we're putting into effect now?
You're correct. It will be a very tight, strict check and balance process, so it doesn't matter who is the card holder, it has to go through a complete review process before it we can process for payment.
Okay, so no more Vegas casinos, no more tennis shoes, no more other
I don't think so.
questionable things. Thank you.
That's cannot happen.
President Gilbert, question.
Okay, Mr. Martinez.
Will there be any delays in processing, for example, if students need something at a Vegas casino for their trips and they need something immediately, there won't be any delay in processing under Felix's card or your card or my card? Or
No, there shouldn't be any. There shouldn't be any delay in the process. This is going to improve our process, paying our bill to our vendor, and sustaining check and balance system in place. So there will be no surprise to you as a governing board. And to answer back to you, Mr. Martinez, no, there should not be any delay, any event conducting district business.
And it's for the better, and it's recommended by FICMAT, right?
You're correct. We're following their guidelines and further reinforcing the rules to protect district funds.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions?
I have
Mr. Montes?
yeah. I'd like to discuss item 5.
Okay, go ahead. Item 5.
Just for clarification, Mr. Islam, number 5,
You want to read it?
Is an item, let me just read it. Action item number 5 is to approve an agreement with strategic consultation for schools to develop an action plan to provide technical assistance to facilitate a 5-stage comprehensive special education program revitalization in order to implement the recommendations as stated in the special education program in-depth review performed by the Fiscal Crisis Management Assistance Team, FICMAT. So what my understanding is, this company is going to help us basically professionally work out the recommendations, implement the recommendations that have been given to us by FICMAT, one of the most credible auditing firms in the state, if not the whole country, to help us transition into the changes, because obviously we've got a lot of work to do. I understand there's a lot of good people there and a lot of people doing good things, but we still need to correct some of of our shortfalls, and I think it's a great idea. My concern is who's going to be helping our district, particularly our special education department and our administration, with any legal issues that might arise, because from my point of view, we have general legal counsel, we have special board counsel currently, but perhaps it wouldn't be a bad idea for us to consider, for you to look for special legal counsel that specializes in special education, for when the time comes, you don't have to go to general counsel or the special board counsel, which is specifically for other issues. So I guess what I'm saying is I think it'd be good for us to authorize Mr. Islam and district staff to bring forward a proposal or authorize him to get specialized legal counsel for special education when he needs it, or when the district needs it. This is a very touchy issue, very important issue to me and to many people in the community and many of you board members. And I think if we want to get on the road to bettering ourselves and correcting some of the things we need to correct, I think we want to make sure we do it within the laws, and you know, and cover all of our bases. So if it's okay with the board, I'd like to make a motion to amend this item. Motion to amend this item to allow district staff to consult with specialized legal counsels that specializes in special education for any issues that might arise or questions they might have regarding revitalizing our special education program.
Comment, Mr. President? I would like that on a separate agenda so we don't violate any Brown Act or anything like that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I think it's appropriate, not a problem. Don't misunderstand me.
Yeah. Can we place that on the next agenda, Mr. Islam?
Yes, if that's the direction the board want me to go, I will bring a proposal to you for your considerations. If that's the board, that's the direction board like to go. If
Yeah,
that's fine. That's fine. I just
it's a very good,
It's a
valid
very
point.
valid point. And
Yeah, we can
but
do it
we
at the
need
next
to
one.
do it correctly.
Right.
So we put it. Ms. O'Kelly asked to have that on the next agenda.
Sure, we
And
can do
that's
that.
fine.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? Any other questions? All right. Could I get a motion? Not a motion. A vote on the discussion action items. All in favor, board members?
Aye. Aye.
Motion is carried. Now we are ready for comments from our acting superintendent, Mr. Islam.
First of all, I want to thank my staff who really work hard with me to bring Cal State San Bernardino partnering with this. This is the beginning of changes we're making and what's best for our students for Rialto. I'm looking for the best, not compromise somewhere in between. So this is exciting time for board with your support. This is just one of the institution we are partnering. I'm going to bring more. We're working on UCR, Cal Poly, and other community colleges doing the same thing. As I'm moving forward, I will bring to you and present to you the partnering with other institutions for the students of Rialto Unified School District. And I want them that every child, every student graduate from a school has an opportunity to go to college. That's my mission. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd just like to add that with Cal Poly Pomona, please fix that for the Engineering Academy and the Culinary Academy, because Cal Poly is just perfect for those two endeavors.
Thank you.
Micah?
I first off want to thank Mr. Islam for the DSAC trip that we took earlier today to the Central Kitchen, and where we learned pretty much the background of all the stuff that we don't really see, like our transportation. Missy Barr was our bus driver. She was so kind. At Eisenhower, we were running late, and she went out of her way to pick us up from the school, and it was really nice of her. We learned about the grounds supervisor, showed us what the grounds works do, what the grounds people do, the services that they provide. For us, Mr. Brian Montez, just want to thank him as well for his knowledge that he showed us and his understanding also of Rialto history. He would give us a little history lesson while we were there, talk to us about the Rialto Society, History Society, I believe, and it was really interesting. Mr. Bill Ralph, as well, Director of Maintenance and Operations, gave us another knowledgeable account of what he does at the district, and Mr. George Palma talked to us about facilities, where he explained to us that to build Carter, it cost $80 million or something like that. And that's a lot of money, I'm just saying. That's very interesting. And then again, I want to thank you, Mr. Islam and Mr. Harris. Thank you for having lunch with us earlier, provided from our nutrition services. It was there's a lingering myth that school lunch is not that great, but I can tell you that earlier we ate pretty well, I believe. So just want to thank Miss Cindy Stone, Linda Madrano, Christina Crocher, Miss Fasah Ronman, all from Nutrition Services. Just thank you for providing us with the lunch earlier. And I just want to comment on the guaranteed acceptance to CSU SB, right? Yeah, that's great. Just it gives our kids, our students, me, and the rest of my peers, I guess, just something to look forward to after school, something to work for while we're going to school. You know, we want to go to the big colleges, but CSU SB is just right around the corner, so it's just a good opportunity for our kids, and I just thank them. Thank you guys. Thank you, Mr. Islam. Thank you for just helping us in every way that you possibly can. Just thank you, and that's it.
Thank you. Thank you. Mrs. O'Kelly.
I just want to point out to Micah, though, CSUSB is a lot more affordable than the big colleges.
Yeah.
Thank you all for coming tonight. I want to reassure everyone that we are working hard to resolve our issues as quickly as possible. Please remember that one of the reasons it's taken so long is we wanted to have all the facts, so we were waiting until both of the FCMAT audits were presented. They weren't able to present them until January. So that's why it seems like it's taking a lot longer than it should, but we were waiting for that information. It's frustrating, but we are committed to doing what is best for the district. Personally, for me, I've been an educator in this district for over 30 years. I know firsthand how great this district was. I was part of building it. I dedicated my life to the children of Rialto, and I've served them as a teacher, as an administrator, and finally as principal of Eisenhower High School. The students in this town are my heart, and I firmly believe that they deserve the very best we can give them. And I'm not going to settle for anything less. In that regard, I'd like to say, in the words of Roy Disney, son of Walt Disney, and I quote, "It's not hard to make decisions when you know what your values are." Thank you and have a good night.
Mr. Montez.
Good evening. Buenas noches. I want to first congratulate everybody who was awarded tonight. It's always good to be recognized for your work and your accomplishments and all that you do for our district and for our children. And also, I just want to say, sometimes with everything that's going on in our district and everything that recently and things that continue to come out and surprise us, like things about former board members or whatnot that we have no control over nowadays. It just sometimes it's hard to keep a smile up here. I try to smile as much as I can. I'm not a mean person, so if you see me up here serious, sometimes it's hard to get your mind off a lot of the issues that we are dealing with. I want to assure this community, I've spoken with Mr. Islam, and he's doing everything possible to protect our children and make sure that all of our schools are safe, and that also that our staff members do their part in their due diligence if they are mandated reporters, if they have to report anything to law enforcement or CPS, and even us, even us as board members, we have a due diligence in many forms. One of the due diligence that the board has is to make sure that we report things to the proper authorities if we have reason to suspect that any laws might have been broken, whether we can confirm it or not. If we have reason to believe, or if we conduct an audit or an investigation and they conclude that they have a reason to believe, and if they go above and beyond that and suggest to us that you should report this to the county or to the DA, for example, then we have a due diligence to do that. And we have not done that. Unfortunately, a board majority could not be reached to do that. So I went on my own behalf as an individual member of this community, as a resident, not as a board member, not speaking for the board, and I wrote a letter to the county superintendent of schools asking them to please come in and take a look at this stuff. But I shouldn't have had to have done that. That's what the board is here for. And we should honor our due diligence to this community and to the people of this district. So anyway, we're dealing with a lot of things. One of the things I want to point out is that I've been asking for information in between meetings, in between special board meetings, that it seems like we're not doing anything, but, other than, a lot of deliberating and debating and talking and trying to get things worked out. I've been asking for information, and it's staggering to me, really, that our district has spent $145,600, $145,600 just in the audits, the 2 audits conducted by FIGMAT, the investigative report by Stewart Investigations, and the legal costs that we've been incurring while we stagnate, as somebody said earlier. Or at least it seems like we're stagnating. And I just want to say that I think we should be moving faster. It's paramount to this district and to the kids. Now, that's not to add. Now, the 145, 600,000 is not adding the over $200,000 that people are earning sitting at home. That until we resolve what direction we're going to go, it's going to continue. So I just want to say, and really take this moment to urge my colleagues to take into consideration the importance of making sure that we do everything that we can that is within our power as the governing board of this district to make sure we are doing our due diligence. Not because someone's a friend or because we like them or whatever, or, you feel loyalty to them or whatever. No, this is about potential criminal activity. FICMAT is an auditing firm. They are not law enforcement. We are a governing board. We are not law enforcement. That's why somebody needs to come in and take a look at this stuff. Let them decide. And the suspicion is there. So if it's there, why aren't we doing as much as we can to knock on their door and invite them over?
Are you done?
I am. With that, I just want to again. It's difficult to talk about some of the negatives and then try to blend in the positives. But I am really happy that Mr. Thomas Morales from Cal State San Bernardino was here. That we signed the memorandum of understanding, and we're on our way to creating a pipeline between our district and Cal State San Bernardino because our students deserve the best. They've been neglected too long. This district's been bleeding for too long. It's time to heal those wounds. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Martinez.
Thank you, President Gilbert. One of the reasons that it takes so long, and I'm asking the associations in particular to pay attention, people come to me and they say, I don't care how long it takes, as long as people are treated fairly. And that there's a small contingent that shows up here that is a voting bloc, if you want to call it that, but they are the ones who are remaining active. There is a larger group who wants fairness. We have spent $146,600, thank you for that number, out of the Rialto Unified School District budgets that didn't need to be spent. There were other outside agencies that should have done it, but they saw fit not to. They didn't see the problem. So we've spent money that didn't need to be spent. Now, in particular, we've gone through the background process. Now we are about to, and here's where the associations really are sharp on it. The process of due process begins. We haven't even started that. There has been no response to any of the accusations. So I would say we're maybe a third of the way through the process. Yes, it is. It is, and very time consuming. But to do it right and to be fair to everyone, you have to take everything into consideration. More importantly, for me in particular, I want to make sure that every one of our staff members gets treated fairly. And this is building a past practice for the associations to look at. So if we say we're going to cut it short and we're going to hang everybody, not let them have their day in court, well, okay, that's a past practice we can hang our hat on and move forward on. But if we want to go ahead and treat everyone equally and everyone fairly, then that is the past practice I would prefer. Mr. Islam, thank you so much for taking my lead on the Cal State issue. When I saw that come out with Chafee, and then with San Bernardino, and then with Colton, I couldn't stand it anymore. I had to keep sending you these emails and pestering, make sure that we got on board. Thank you for carrying that forward. This board is mired in time-consuming topics that are controversial. And as you know, my main task here is student achievement. And you've heard me more than once, we cannot keep our eyes on problems and address student achievement. This board is charged, including with a statement from LCAF, I believe it is, Local Control Funding Formula, FF, that we are supposed to address student achievement before anything else. So whether we like it or not, I like it. We have to focus on student achievement. President Gilbert?
Thank you, Mr. Martinez. Mr. Ayala.
Good evening, parents and viewing audience. I'd like to say, first of all, that I know Figmat is a reputable auditing firm that the state provides services to various school districts. I do appreciate what they did. They did a lot of work for us. But there is a point where you've got to look at the services that they're providing, and you ask yourself, at what point does local control feel that they need to take care of their business? And maybe a little story about being up in an airplane, and the pilot says, we're going to jump out. And we talked about it earlier. You're going to jump out using someone else's parachute. They packed it, you didn't see it, or you can pack your own. A lot of people don't have the confidence in packing their own parachute. They'll just take one out of the pile. You know, open heart surgery, I'm going to let the professionals do it. I'm not going to go there. You know, I'm not jumping out of airplanes, but I cook my own meals. I do a lot of things for myself because I know what I'm doing with these areas. I don't try to overstep my authority or my boundaries. And then that leads us into our school district. Have we been prudent? That's a question. Have we taken enough time to make a reasonable, rational decisions? And the reports are in. We could probably ask for more reports, but we got to ask ourselves, okay, let's take a look at that three-legged stool. You have parents, you have students, and you have staff. If you focus on just one part of that stool, the other two get ignored. Eventually they need maintenance. If one breaks off, a stool is going to fall over. We're very close to concluding. We all want closure. But to reopen it again after we get closure, I personally think we're moving in the wrong direction. It is time now to focus on Common Core and our kids. We have great staff here. We have professionals. They know what they're doing. I would trust them with my parachute. But I need you to have confidence in us.
Are they Nike?
There's things I wish I could talk to you openly, but I'll be happy after this concludes. After we have resolutions, we can go over some of your questions. Thank you, Ms. Gilbert, for the opportunity to share a few points of reference tonight, and thank you for those of you dedicated and being here from the very beginning and spending all this time with us. I realize your sacrifices. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ayala. I appreciate the comments that all of the board members have made. Some of them are really valid. The thing that I most want to emphasize is that I know it's frustrating to you to have to wait for an answer to some of your questions, but as Mr. Martinez said, we're not legal. We don't represent the legal community. We have to go by the law. And some things that we wish we could do early or sooner, we cannot do. So you just have to trust us as the governing board. We don't go in closed session and sit there and twiddle our thumbs. We get legal representation and we have to make decisions, and these decisions will affect the entire district. And all of the board members know that we have been working. And we're not just wasting time. It may seem like that to you because you want us to act quickly, but this is not a TV drama. We can't just make a decision and say this is it and it's over in 30 minutes. That's not the way it works. So when we go into closed session and we have special board meetings, it's because we're gathering information that will be for the best interests of the district. We're not just playing around. We want to make sure that when we make a decision, which will be coming very soon, that it will be one that will benefit all of us. And I think all of the board members would agree to that. So with that, I will say Happy Valentine's Day coming up, and thank you.
And I am the only one representing for Valentine's Day.
Okay. And before let's have a solemn note, because we want to close this meeting in memory of Mr. Montes' grandmother. He wants to say a few words in her honor.
Thank you, Saida. Thank you. This was my swear-in. If we can, because I want my family at home, my family and friends to see it. I don't know if we can get a close-up of this or not, but maybe you can just zoom in as close as you can. On my swear-in, my grandmother was here, and I brought her up to the podium, to show her to the world. She just recently passed away. She had 11 children, 42 grandchildren, 76 great-grandchildren, and 7 great-great-grandchildren.
Wow. Whoa, amazing.
Does she have her own town?
You know what? She definitely had her own army. I just want to say that as I look at the picture of my grandmother, that's who I see when I see the parents and some of the older parents and some of the parents, the grandparents of the district. That's who I see when I see my elders. I see my grandmother. So when I see the grandparents picking up their kids at the schools that I pick up my kids at, that I drop off my kids out in the morning, that's why I have such a passion for what I do. And my grandmother has given me that passion. And I just wanted to, with permission of our board president, end in her memory tonight. So thank you very much.
Yes, but give us her name.
Her name was Leonor Cabanilla Torres. And it's funny because she was somewhere between her mid-80s and mid-90s. They're not exactly sure. But
okay.
Thank you.
What a wonderful life.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So with that, we will adjourn the
Closed session?
We're going into closed session, but we're going to adjourn this meeting in the memory of Mrs. Torres. Meeting adjourned at 9:12. Thank you.